In the United States, we value independence as a trait, and so we want our children to be independent. What does that mean? Usually, at first, it means we want babies to be able to fall asleep on their own without being soothed. We want children to be able to entertain themselves. We don't want them to need their parents too much. Does it also mean we want them to do what they want to do and think for themselves? No, we want them to do what we tell them to do. In fact, the stages of development that are associated with independence, we call those stages the terrible twos. It's the stage of development that we dread. In societies that are much more collective, where independence is not a value, where the children are held and carried all the time, and they're not even soothed to sleep because you don't even have to soothe them to sleep. They're already being held or carried, and they just fall asleep against the mother's chest. In those societies, they don't actually have a period called the terrible twos. Barbara Rogoff and Gilda Morelli did some research with Mayan parents, and they asked some of the mothers, how do you get the children to listen to you? The mothers thought this was a strange question. They said, well, we just tell them stop and they stop. The researchers said, well, American parents don't always find it that easy. Now, the Mayan mothers had learned a little bit earlier that it's the custom in North America for parents to let their children cry themselves to sleep, and they were horrified to learn about this. And now, when they learned that American children don't always listen to their parents, they responded, well, of course. It's because the children don't feel connected to their parents. Now, I'm not going to promise that if you soothe your children to sleep, that means they will always listen to you and never be defiant. But I do think it's interesting, the dichotomy we have about how we view independence, how we want independence in one sphere, but not in other spheres. And maybe that's just not something we're going to get.